Good evening. We're ready. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to our October regular board meeting. Sorry, there are head cold all around, so sneeze carefully. We'll begin by introducing board members, and we'll start over here.
Diane Potter,
Molly Rogers, Siege Scully,
Alyssa Tracy,
Becky Fless.
Tony V.
Kira Bodgett,
Megan Carlson,
Sean Pogue.
Joanne O'Brien,
Matt Lillibridge.
Administrative staff.
Pat Hopkins, Superintendent,
Andrea Dish, Business Manager,
Dave Stubbert, Athletic Director.
Lauren Arnold, Principal, Gardner High School.
Sarah Sims, Principal at Gardner Regional Middle School.
Sarah Bolduc, Director of Special Services.
Vicky Dugange, Principal at Riverview Community School.
Karen Moody, Principal of Lower Richard School.
Tiffany Cockrell, Principal at Pittston Randolph Consolidated School. Terry McGuire, Director of Technology.
Angela Hardy, Director of Curriculum.
And we have next the Pledge of Allegiance. I was looking at our guest and I got sidetracked. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Public comment? And do you want me to read them? Okay, I'm going to read this statement before you go up there. We're about to enter into our public comment period of our meeting. State law in Maine requires a public comment item on agendas of a full meeting of the school board. We also believe it's crucial for us to hear from our community members about their concerns and issues, so we're pleased to have this as an agenda item. Having said that, please note that the board is here to listen. Public comment period is not designed to be a discussion. Accordingly, please do not expect the board to respond to your concerns and questions tonight. This is because we take your concerns and questions seriously and want to have sufficient time to process and research issues if needed. We will appropriately, if appropriate, respond to your questions and concerns at a future meeting or have the proper staff member get back to you at an appropriate time. I also want to point out that under state and federal privacy laws, we are unable to entertain any comments or questions about school personnel, particular student matters, any rumors presented as facts that compromise the privacy of others, and any health or medical information protected is confidential. Please know, however, we take all of your concerns very seriously. On any matter of concerns we ask for you to go through the appropriate administrative channels. Finally, we recognize that right now our nation and our community is polarized on a number of issues. That said, we want our school board meetings to serve as an example to our students that members of our school board and members of our community can deal with controversial issues in a civil manner and demonstrate mutual respect for one another. In that spirit, we will insist that all speakers and members of the audience maintain civility and respect for any divergent views that others possess. We ask that speakers please address comments to the board directly rather than to the audience. Speakers may address items pertinent to tonight's meeting agenda or any topic related to the school unit's programs, policies, or operations. Let me be clear. Any statement made that includes personally identifiable comments about a student will not be permitted. In the unlikely event that the meeting becomes unruly, the board will recess the meeting and return once order has been restored. Finally, I want to remind everyone that you may submit written comments to the board in lieu of speaking during the public comment periods, if you so choose. So when you go up, please write down your name and what community you live in. And you may speak. 2 minutes. Oh, and you have 2 minutes, yes.
Yes.
Timekeeper, Alyssa?
Yes, you got it. All set.
Good evening. My name is Victoria Tracy, and I'm a resident of Randolph and a sophomore at Gardner Area High School. I also act as an advisor of the high school's civil rights team. With regard to recent opposition and criticism of the policies created for the inclusion of all students, I would like to speak on behalf of myself and other members of the Civil Rights team. Our job is to help students feel safe, protected, and heard. Many students, including myself, have felt very uneasy with what has been going on within this room in regards to personal beliefs. As a student, I should feel protected by all members of the board, not victimized or fearful that one board member's decision to go against Maine law could leave me feeling stranded, alone, and unprotected by the adults that are supposed to support me. The work of this board is not going unnoticed by students, and I appreciate each member that is putting forward their best efforts to make me feel heard and protected. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any other public comment? Seeing none. Thank you, Victoria. Prioritization of items and alterations of the established agenda format sequence as needed.
The only addition that I would make beyond the modified amended agenda that was sent out yesterday is under recognition and celebrations. We need to add Diane Potter.
We do.
This is Diane's last meeting with us, so last official meeting with us.
I'll be there.
Good, good.
You better be.
Excellent.
Okey doke. So, motion please to approve the agenda
No, so
by Tony, second by Molly. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Approval of minutes of previous meetings. Let's see, regular school board meeting of September 5th, special board meeting of September 17th, and special board meeting expulsion hearing of September 30th, 2024, and a special board meeting expulsion hearing that was canceled.
So moved all meetings as listed.
Second by Megan. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Thank you. Alrighty then. Recognition and celebrations. Diane. What are you gonna do on Thursday nights?
I thought about that. Part of me wants to have more free time, and part of me says, oh, but I care about that, so I'll stay tuned.
Good, excellent, well. Like to gratefully say thank you. For all of your hard work, your dedication and not missing meetings and
Thank you.
speaking your mind and always watching out for what's best for children.
I will try to do that.
I know that about you, so I just want to thank you
Thank you so
on behalf
much.
of the board.
Thank you.
Thank you, Diane.
Yeah. I will be tuning in on those, you'll never know when I'm watching.
Excellent.
Thank you. Yeah. Okey-doke, correspondence, we'll go there, how's
Just
that?
as provided.
Excellent. Committee reports, Capital Area Technical Center, no meeting.
Well, my next, I'm ready.
Curriculum
Ready.
committee.
I'm prepared. All right, so we had our meeting on September 10th. And it was attached in your packet, but just to go through the three items in there, we went over the 2024-2025 professional learning calendar, all the workshop days and so forth. Every minute and ounce of time that these folks are not teaching students in these days, they're filled with professional learning and other initiatives. So we spoke about all of that. We talked about the testing windows and workshops and things that were coming, and that parents would be receiving their usual annual letters about testing. And we talked a little bit about each sort of cohort of students and what testing they go through. We looked at some data, which is always my favorite because I'm that person, and talked through that. And then we looked at a website, which actually I was on this week and then conferred with Angela on. We've got things to do, but it's great. It's there. You can find it. There's information. And then as usual, all other supplemental information is on the school sites, but yeah, anything else did I miss? All right. Thank you.
Alrighty. No. Policy committee.
Yeah, so
So you,
we met right before the last regular board meeting. And we do have some, let's see, 3 policies and 3 job descriptions to present for first reading. Let's see, our basic process there was, let's see, we review policies either on a 5-year basis per statute, or as statutes change and we're notified by our attorneys. And so these 3 had come up just for those updates. The other part that we worked on is the job descriptions. Some of those are new and had been developed. The Director of Transportation and Director of Facilities are now 2 separate positions. And so administration, Superintendent Hopkins had worked with Gabe Dostie to develop those job descriptions, as well as that of inclusion specialist. And most of it is to make sure that it reflects the work that is being done, so the current practice. So we do check if there's anything outdated or anything in there. And then mostly it's sort of like a spelling and punctuation thing, and we have to pace ourselves whether there's 2 spaces or 3 sometimes on some of these after these periods or commas or something. Having said that, the policies are included in our original agenda. It may not be in the revised one from that's right here, but the original one, original packet was sent there. So I would like to put a motion forward for a first reading for the 3 policies listed and the 3 job descriptions.
second by Matt. Questions or comment? All those in favor? Thank you. Moving on. Wellness Committee, no meeting. Student rep report.
Okay. So Interact is hosting the trunk or treat on October 26th from 2 to 4. We're expecting around 300 to 400 kids. And last year we were just in the circle. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but this year we're expanding to the upper parking lot because we have so many trunks, which is really exciting. NHS induction ceremony is October 29th, 6 to 7 p.m. And this afternoon, me and Kira had a meeting with Miss Arnold. And one of the things that we talked about was a club information meeting, like the sports information meetings that they do at the beginning of the year. Just because a lot of parents drop their kids off at clubs and they don't really know what's actually like going on at the clubs. So we figured like each club could kind of present their yearly plan, just so parents know what their kids are doing. And another thing we talked about was advisory. So recently, Miss Arnold has been trying to like increase advisory culture, which is super great. But some clubs do meet in advisory time. So we're kind of talking about a compromise where 1 or 2 days a week clubs are allowed to meet into advisory time, and the other days clubs have to stop at 7:30. And we're also sending out our student survey before Thanksgiving, just to check in on the students, and some of the questions that we kind of have lined up are asking them to rate their satisfaction with school culture on a scale of 1 to 10. Asking if they feel safe in school, if they feel like they are actively learning or engaged in their classes, if they have any suggestions or ideas for school spirit events, and if they have any issues or things that they would like to have spoken about at the school board meetings, / do they feel like accurately represented at the school board meetings. If we created a student leadership organization to increase student voice, would they be interested in it? And just the last question, like anything else that they want to add.
So,
Not a short survey.
Not a short survey.
That's good. Excellent.
The trunk or treat was 3 to 4, is that what you said?
2 to 4.
2 to 4. Call, 'cause I would be asking.
Ms. Arnold, we also talked about, we brainstormed some more ideas. We also talked about how the bonfire was a huge success that happened a few weeks ago. Everyone loved it, and there was a very large turnout. And we were kind of brainstorming more ways to get the school, like, community better. So we were thinking about doing something like the Pittston School Color Olympics, but at the high school and doing that during Spirit Week. So we thought that would be cool.
I know how to get bracelets, Kiara.
And then
Priorities.
Priorities.
we were thinking like separate into grade levels, maybe do some trivia. And since Miss Arnold is really like really wants homeroom to come back and really be meaningful, we could do something during homerooms with that. And then we were thinking about doing a talent show as a fundraiser maybe. And just having like kids audition and like just an entry ticket fee. So that would be a cool fundraiser, and I think kids would really enjoy that. And then we also talked about how we should increase fundraising school-wide, especially for senior activities. I know the seniors are already enjoying the senior activities this year. And then we also talked about big sibling, little siblings, like relationships with the high school kids versus like the elementary school kids to get our school community more combined, I guess. Yeah, that's all we talked about. But
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love that idea. Administrative reports.
All right, so for the elementary schools, for LER, noteworthy, this year they've started the year fully staffed, which they're very grateful for. They recently received a $500 Amazon gift card from Eagle Creek Renewable Energy and used the money to purchase 20 magnetic letter sound tile kits for every second grade classroom. Every child has their own tray of letters to use during targeted phonics lessons. On Thursday, September 19th, they hosted the back to school barbecue, and Johnson Hall sent a juggler and magician to entertain the families. They're looking forward to a great school year. Challenge at LER. Student emotional and behavioral needs are significant. Many children in kindergarten are struggling with being in school a full day. Staff continue to build relationships with students while getting routines and expectations in place. Riverview. We've started the year with one of our largest enrollment years, with 190 as of the writing of this notice. We just finished iReady diagnostics and are finishing up NUIA testing. GEPTA, our PTA, was supposed to host an Oktoberfest this weekend, but unfortunately it's canceled for 2 reasons. 1, due to the weather, and 2, due to lack of volunteers. So they're going to kind of come back to that. We are working to build student stamina so they understand that they can do hard things. They can come to school regularly, they can attend to their schoolwork, and they can respectfully work through peer conflict. Challenge at Riverview. Student and emotional and behavioral needs have been challenging, and like LER, we continue to build relationships with students while getting routines and expectations in place to build student stamina to attend to their school day. HT, noteworthy. HT students and staff have had a great start to the 24-25 school year. Over the summer, a volunteer group painted hopscotch and Foursquare on their playground and built new raised beds to use with students. During the first school assembly, they launched an attendance challenge, tracking weekly attendance by classroom to determine the class with the strongest attendance at the end of each month. The winning class will earn popcorn with the principals, and first, second, and third place classes will display large ribbons on their classroom doors. HT challenge. They're still trying to fill open positions in the district STEPS program. Currently, they appreciate the support being offered by staff members who typically work in other buildings, as they are with HT until new staff is hired. Pittston Community School, noteworthy. The opening week routines went well, including dismissals. They are thankful for the bus drivers and the great communication and collaboration with the transportation department. They are also thrilled to have 3 kindergarten classrooms this year to better meet the social, emotional, and academic needs of their youngest learners. Challenge at Pittston Randolph Community School. They are creatively filling an open special ed tech position with 4 super subs while simultaneously sharing They're one filled position with another school. So anybody out there for subs, we love you, we want you, come on in, little plug there. And next.
So at the middle school, they're noteworthy was they've had an incredible start to the school year. Everyone's come in energized, excited, and ready to go. Sixth graders transitioned easily into the new routine of middle school, and our seventh and eighth graders returned excited to get started. Special education has been an incredible asset to help in aligning special services and practices, including thinking outside the box, to help ensure our students can access allied art classes in their daily schedule. These students' faces, smiles, and excitement over this have been contagious and inspiring. Truly a huge thank you to our special education team within the building and at central office for putting kids first and supporting us in this process. For a challenge, we are looking for 2 amazing ed techs to come join our team. We are down 2 ed techs, and not having those positions filled has certainly put a strain on our resources in the building. At the high school year is off to a great start. The energy is really high among our students and staff, and we've enjoyed getting to know our ninth graders. Our homecoming week was a great success with the bonfire, the pep rally, and the dance. All were well attended. Students took the NUIA and made 3-year assessments during the week of September 23rd. And this year we tried something new, and we met with students to kind of explain the importance of these assessments. And we offered incentives that are in place if they show growth, and we're happy to report that we are seeing some growth. And for our challenge, we had a lot of the start of the year, some outdated online threats that weren't directed to our school, but they got posted on social media and reshared. We obviously take all those threats very seriously, and the investigation efforts do require a significant amount of time to be put in by the SRO and our administrators. And we'd really like to thank Deputy Jordan. He spent a lot of time on this, and he's been awesome. And we just kindly ask if anybody sees a threat online, to please send it directly to law enforcement. But we really appreciate our community is really practicing that see something, say something. For adult education, for noteworthy, then we have a full team of teachers and staff for the year. We're welcoming our learners back, and they seem to come back to us in waves of 5 or so each week. For a challenge, reaching our learners and getting them restarted is always a challenge in August and September. We look forward to structuring and funding a summer program in a way to keep learners moving forward. In athletics, for noteworthy, it's been an exciting start to the fall sports season. We currently have approximately 233 athletes involved in athletics at the high school, 41% of our enrollment across 7 teams. At the middle school, we have 97 athletes involved in athletics across 4 teams, which is about 23%. We've had a very successful homecoming week where we brought back the first bonfire we've had at the high school in over 25 years. For the challenge, once again, we are faced with a bus driver shortage. Getting our athletes to away contests has been a bit of a challenge so far this fall. We've been fortunate enough so far to get all of our athletes to their away contests, but it has taken some creativity on the part of Jeff and Nate to figure out how to get everyone where they're supposed to be. And we'd like to thank Jeff for working with us and getting that job done for our athletes. And for the business office, am I on to? You want me to read yours too? All right, I'm rolling. All right. For noteworthy, it's been an incredibly challenging yet productive summer. We're happy to report that the team has navigated the season successfully. From June 1st to date, the business office has processed 1,673 new hire onboarding forms. Whoa,
Crazy, huh?
Reflecting the influx of staff during the summer hiring period. It should be noted that the form total does not reflect paperwork for retiring and resigning staff members. Despite the high volume, the team remained focused and efficient in ensuring a smooth onboarding process for all new hires. Additionally, we have successfully completed the first half of the district's annual audit without issue. It was noted that MSAD11 has charged the least of their clients due to the reduced amount of work required on their end, a testament to the accuracy and diligence within our office operations. The challenge is that the summer was extremely hectic, compounded by a complete turnover of the business office staff, but we've pushed through. Despite the intensity, the efforts have paid off, and we are making steady progress. Enough progress for Andrea to plan a vacation to Arizona in November.
That's like a shout out.
Yeah, it is.
Go Andrea.
Yeah. Well done.
For technology, the noteworthy is this year state testing was scheduled much earlier than in the past. It's taken a group effort to make testing successful. Admin assistants who entered student information into PowerSchool and into the state Synergy databases technicians who prepared and delivered laptops to students, administrators that created testing schedules, curriculum coordinator who prepared testing materials, teachers became trained and administered the tests, guardians who made sure students were rested and ready, and students who did their best. Thank you to all involved. No challenge from the technology.
There's too many to write down.
For special services, inclusion specialists, which are kind of like the IEP coordinators, have cultivated positive relationships with special education team members, parents, and the community while managing compliance with special education timelines and IEP processes. Their responsibilities range from analyzing evaluation data to facilitating meetings, ensuring that students receive special education services in accordance with best practices and legal guidelines. The work of inclusion specialists, from setting up and facilitating meetings to completing written notices and IEPs, has released special educators to spend more time dedicated or more dedicated time with students. Special education teachers have expressed their appreciation of this support. A challenge has been open positions remain a significant challenge. Despite numerous interviews and collaborations with agencies, we still have several unfilled roles. Our staff is stretching to cover these gaps, including the unfilled inclusion specialist position at the elementary level. To support the needs of special education educators K-12, the Office of Special Services has temporarily absorbed these responsibilities. While this approach is working in the short term, it's not sustainable in the long term. For maintenance, noteworthy is summer projects completed, our new roof, sections of a new roof at the high school, bathroom upgrades at the middle school, new flooring in multiple areas at LER and Riverview, and the latest round of heat pumps were installed at Helen Thompson. The middle school lighting project is being finished with all new LED lights and controls, and the high school student parking lot is scheduled to have paving done this week, and we did have some. Amy Nesbitt, who has been a second shift custodian at the middle school for years, has chosen to move into the open custodial position at Pittston Randolph. The challenge is it's been a busy start to the school year with a list of issues that have popped up and being addressed by Gabe's staff. We're currently short a custodian at the high school and the middle school. The custodians have been working extra hours to cover these positions with almost no applications being submitted for these positions. It's been very difficult to fill them. And transportation, noteworthy is being surrounded by a team that works really well together and is trying their best for our students and staff. Their challenge is the bus station's understaffed. They have concerns about the long-term effects that this will have on their drivers who are being asked to do more when they're already stretched thin. Multiple sports events with departure times during their afternoon bus routes has been a challenge. And for nutrition, their noteworthy is that their year started off very positively. Everyone came back to work from summer break, which is always a good thing.
This perspective.
Yeah.
Praiseworthy.
Yeah.
We have someone who wants to become a sub, which in our world is huge. She already has her CHRC and we're good to go. We were working with Andrew's Farm this fall right here on West Hill Road. And we have already had a delivery of sweet peppers, grape tomatoes, and a mix of lettuce. And curriculum, for noteworthy, the school started with 3 full days of professional and preparing our classrooms. There was considerable time spent engaging in collaborative work focused on improving literacy outcomes, and this will continue throughout the year. Additionally, we are committed to introducing additional strategies on de-escalating student behaviors through training modules offered by our Therapeutic Crisis Intervention and Support, TCIS, facilitators. And the curriculum's challenge is we need to send additional staff members to the specialized TCIS training in order to effectively schedule in-district training for all of our staff. The time commitment required up front is significant. However, we've learned that the impact should be worth it.
Old start for Laura doing all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
That was so great. All right, the cell phone committee.
I sent out a letter to parents a couple weeks ago, and asking any interested parent to reach out to my office. We've so far had 15 parents, which is a significant number,
Yeah.
really. So the deadline is tomorrow. And so once we get beyond tomorrow, I'll start being able to more formally identify who should be on the committee. I'm still looking for a middle school teacher. I'm still looking for a high school teacher. If anyone out there is listening and they are interested, so just reach out to me, but it is slowly moving forward.
Excellent. General information,
As written.
excellent. Nominations.
We're really excited.
Yeah.
You just heard what came out of the special ed department.
Yes.
And we're really excited that we're recommending Kelly Boucher as an inclusion specialist at the elementary school. Kelly used to work for us. It's really great to have her come back in a different capacity. So
I
we're really
recognize that
excited.
name.
Yeah,
Nice, excellent.
Do you need a motion?
I do.
I'll make the motion.
Yeah,
Approve
second.
nomination is ready. Yeah.
Alyssa and Tony.
Thank you.
Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Thank you.
Motion carries. Great. New business.
All right, first, I think the first three
Yeah, I got three.
are Nate's.
Go
Thank you,
Nate.
everybody. So the first one is, for those of you who don't know, we currently have a boys ice hockey co-op with Waterville and Winslow and us. And I'm here tonight to request to add Lawrence High School to our co-op. The reason for that is our numbers are still down. We currently have about 9 to 10 Gardner athletes participating. Lawrence would add 4 to 5. Waterville has about 3 or 4 and Winslow has about 2. So those are still pretty low numbers for a hockey program. They need a place to play. They used to play with Brewer, which was kind of a long haul for them to get to practices and games. So they're looking to come to us, which is a little bit closer, and we need them personally. And of course, we would split it 4 ways now.
And can you remind the board where the ice time is?
So what time?
Where the
Oh,
ice
it's
time
at the ice
is.
ball, which is now the Thomas College Ice Ball. It used to be the Camden
Same,
National Bay
right?
Ice Ball.
Yeah.
Now it's the Thomas College Ice Ball in Hollowell and Witten Road.
Really?
Yeah. The new
We
sign
just
is
renewed
up
it
and
this summer.
everything.
Do they have a hockey team?
They do, yeah.
Oh, Tom's-
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Well,
I don't
Yeah.
think it's club anymore.
Yeah, I would guess.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Are we losing kids to juniors or the travel teams or just not many people?
This is a symptom that's not specific to us. This is a statewide issue. And that's pretty much the co-ops when they started years ago was because of hockey. And I think just my personal opinion is, yeah, juniors, I mean, everybody went to play there and stopped playing for their high school teams. And now this is,
It's not Rhode Island, Matt. All right.
Well, there's still
There's so
still
many of them
co-ops
there.
there too.
Yeah. I have
Not
family
nearly
down
as many,
there,
but-
yeah, that are
There
doing
are
it
some-
everywhere.
some teams that have co-ops of 7, 8 schools.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Need a head nod, I assume.
So we need a
We
motion.
need a motion.
I'll move to add Lawrence to the ice hockey co-op.
Second. Joanne, second. Questions or comments? All of those in favor?
We have 6 coaches now too.
We only have 2. We have a paid and a volunteer.
Seriously? With all that?
Yeah. So next, I'm requesting to add unified volleyball to our unified sports programs. We currently have unified basketball, we have unified bocce, and now we're looking to add unified volleyball.
Unified bocce?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So we have that
Come
Yeah, yeah.
Jess Merrill has done a fantastic job helping out with everything unified. She coaches basketball, she coaches bocce. She also received another grant from the Special Olympics of Maine, $5,200. Last year we got $2,000. This year we got $5,200 for all 3 of our unified programs. And so that would be this will be the last year that we get funding from the Special Olympics of Maine. So I'm requesting that we add unified volleyball. There are only 3 teams right now in the entire state for unified volleyball, so we would be the 4th. One is Morse, the other is Oxford Hills, and the other is Scarborough. So Morse and Oxford Hills aren't too far away, so we could play them, probably 1 home and 1 away, so maybe 4 matches.
What's their season? Or when is their season?
It's the in-between season from fall to winter, so it's coming right up.
It's coming right up.
Okay. And so this will be the second year that they have been a club sport.
Yep.
So they will be coming back to you, board, in, I don't know, sometime this winter, probably during budget season, to request that they become a funded a club or
A team.
funded team,
Funded team, right?
because they will not have funding
Yeah, good
Next
call.
year.
the following
Okay.
year.
Right.
So
For all
I just
three
want
as
to
a
put that on
bundle?
our
Yeah.
radar.
Yeah, that makes
So would
sense.
you group all three unified together where this is the first year for volleyball?
If you have to do them separate.
Well, the board policy says 2 years.
Yeah, right. So we'd have to go,
The other
We might
two.
have to, but at least get the other two on the books.
okay, perfect. Works great.
So I move that we approve the unified volleyball.
When do you play bocce?
Oh, she's in the spring.
Okay, I can't wait. I love bocce.
And they do play against staff.
Yes.
Really? Oh my
We
God.
had 4 middle school teams and we had a blast.
Oh,
the
bocce's so
entire season,
fun.
Played with them, yeah, it was great.
Okay, all those in favor? Say yes, because you're making me happy.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. Okay, excellent.
Thank you. So the last request is back in July, I was contacted by a graduate of Gardner Area High School, Dr. Bill Kelly. I believe he was a 2007 graduate. And he was requesting to somehow memorialize Brad Carlton, who was a graduate of Gardner Area High School, was a captain of the football team that won the state championship in 2007, and tragically took his own life at the end of last year. So Dr. Kelly and I were back and forth with some ideas, and we kind of landed on, I'm going to pass this around. This is a granite base with a terrier. This is a sample because this is what Thomas College uses for theirs. But it would be a granite base with like a tiger head with a placard on the front memorializing Brad Carlton. And we would place it down near the Hoke Field. And Dr. Kelly's done a great job, fundraising, getting everybody that was on those teams together with Brad to help out with this. And it's been, really touching to see them come together for this.
So funny to think that it was Dr. Kelly, he was Billy Kelly.
Yeah, right. So according to board policy, I would need approval from the board to get permission to have a permanent structure on school grounds.
So moved.
Second.
You.
I seconded it.
If anybody wants to know, right now, the idea of where we're going to put it is, if you've been down to the turf field on the side closest to the concessions building, we have the netting in the back. So it would be by the post that's closest to that, on that little walkway area that goes behind the netting. That's where we would put it. And the football team, when they come on the field, they want to change the way they approach the field anyway, because it's kind of clustered right there. So they want to come in from the side. And as they come in, their plan is to walk right by that tiger head every single time and touch it as they enter the field. So
That's awesome.
that's, it'd be pretty special for them.
I think it's pretty great to do something out of something that was so sad.
Right, absolutely.
Post-pandemic and all of that. So I think that's pretty outstanding.
Is the family?
Absolutely. I believe they're
Absolutely.
watching tonight.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
Yeah, I just received a message. Is it on?
Yes.
Yes,
very
we're
full
on.
support.
Excellent.
And I think the cost that Dr. Kelly said was somewhere around $20,000 that they're trying to pull together to get this done.
They'll do it.
Oh, absolutely.
I have no doubt.
Yeah, they're very passionate about it.
Brad was a wonderful person.
Yes, yes.
So all those in favor? Motion carries. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Nate. Thank you.
All right, next.
We got two. The first one is we have a proposal for a new club at the high school. This club would be called the Warhammer Club, and it's centered around building and painting miniature models, which are designed to be used in a tabletop gaming board. And it's a hobby, which is known as Warhammer. Before COVID, they had a small group of students that were just interested in this and got together on their own to pursue this hobby, and they are now returning with some more interest. They have secured a free starter kit for up to 10 students to engage in the hobby. And there's a British game company called Games Workshop who would be providing this kit. They publish a variety of tabletop and war games centered around a 28mm scale miniatures. The activities in the club would include building and painting the miniatures, as well as games played with the miniatures under the instruction and guidance of one of our English teachers, Mr. Jenkins, who is a 15-year veteran of the hobby. The tools that are used in these miniature games include hobby clippers, hobby like small blades, super glue and plastic cement and acrylic paints. And along with the starter models, all of that has been provided free of charge. And they've also secured the support of a local Augusta business called Greenhouse Games for additional material support if the students were to use up those starter materials. That's provided by Game Workshop. And they envision about 2 to 4 meetings per month. And Mr. Jenkins shared that the goals for this club are simple. He's himself and with other students have kind of derived countless hours of enjoyment from this hobby. They've built friendships that began on the tabletop, and they'd want to share that experience with students who are interested in the aspect of hobby experience with no cost for entry that would deter students from taking part. We do already have a tabletop games club, but the focus of this club specifically is why they're kind of looking to have a distinct entity, because it's more of the hobby of the miniatures.
So cool.
That is really cool. I have like a person I want to tell him about that does this, that it's just amazing when you see some of them are so intricate. They're so
they are
small.
very detailed.
Henry Clavel, the actor, is a huge Warhammer guy.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's funny.
The group is quite excited for this possibility.
I would move that we do add the Warhammer Club.
I'll second it.
Such a funny word.
It is. I'm looking it up so I can be like, where did that come from?
I had to look it up too.
Yeah.
I'm glad you had the description, right? Because I was like, wait, that sounds, I don't know, like a different direction, but then I totally, like, I
So
know
crazy.
that level of detail that goes into that.
Yeah.
I've seen people do it. It's pretty cool.
We'll have to share some photos that result from it.
Yeah, cool.
Awesome. All right, then we have a motion and a second, right?
Did you say how many students were interested?
Right now, the kit would support 10, so they'd start with around that number, but they have, like I shared, other groups that are willing to provide materials, so they're looking to grow it from there.
Motion, second. All those in favor? Let's go Warhammerverse.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, so the next one is a proposal to request a name change to our alternative education program. And I have a statement I'd like to read from Michelle Hunt, who's our lead teacher, Ben Batchelder, who is one of our ed techs in the program, and Brittany Sally Giroux, who's also an ed tech in the program. You should have a logo in your packet that looks, nice. All right. So they wanted to thank you so much for letting this request be presented. To ask permission to change the name of our alternative ed program from the Gardner Alternative Program to the RISE program. We've been collaborating with students and staff for several years to come up with a name change, as many parents and students associate alternative to what the programming was like when the alt program was first started in 1995. Together, the students and staff have come up with the RISE program as a new name that will stand for responsibility, integrity, and success in education. Responsibility, integrity, and success are the very characteristics that drive this program. Success to each student may look different. As a result, we make sure to meet students where they are at, so each student has the opportunity to obtain their definition of success, both academically and personally. The attached logo is what we would like to use on various items, such as clothing, water bottles for students, and a name banner at the entrance of the room. We're so very proud of the work, perseverance, and growth that each and every one of our students fight to achieve in and out of school each day. They are on the rise with a current 93% passing rate, 415.5 hours of community service to date, 86% of attendance rate, and they're actively participating in various outreach through their involvement in Sources of Strength, peer tutoring, sports, and other clubs and activities, while many are also holding down jobs to support themselves. To say that we are proud of our students is an understatement, and we'd like to thank you for your consideration and support that the administrators and the school board members have continued to give to our staff and students. And I can't say enough positive things about this program. They really do for our students. And it's been a great effort on behalf of our staff, but the students to kind of come up with this change.
I really support that.
And a second from Molly. Yeah. Questions or comments? All those in favor? Awesome. Thank you. All right, and lastly, MSBA proposed resolutions. Joanne, you are our
Delegate.
delegate. You are our resolutor.
So they were published. Does anybody have any questions or comments or changes?
Really short.
So there weren't any.
I was like,
That's a comment.
yes.
Yeah, there were fewer this year than there've been in many years. And
Yeah.
we just met again for the last time last week, had a special.
Right, although there's another meeting, was it on October 17th?
I was away for the last one, so I don't know.
Well, I just got a email. Proposed MSBA Constitution and bylaw changes for 2024. And it says, full approval is needed by the delegate assembly when they meet on Saturday, October 19th.
Okay.
So I don't know where we're meeting or if it's an online meeting.
So you're meeting online, yes.
Okay.
So the delegate assembly used to be in person, but it goes so much quicker. Remotely over Zoom, and then nobody misses the great. Used to be that people didn't want to go to delegate assembly because they wanted to go to the free legal advice that the conference, wanted to be participating in all the conference workshops. So we did it this way starting during the pandemic, and it's really caught on very well. It streamlines it, great conversations, so that will happen on that meeting on the 19th will be proceed.
Yeah, the last meeting that we were at, we were both at, we were talking about just some changes in language, especially in terms of what the responsibility of the school board is, which I thought was very helpful, which is that our responsibility are to students and to the teachers, and that we have another responsibility to inform parents.
Yes.
But we are responsible to the legislature, and our primary responsibility is to protect the welfare and educational welfare of our students and our teachers, period.
It's in the law. Yes, ma'am.
So we just talked a little bit about changing the language to make that a little bit more clear.
Yes, removing a couple of words and a little bit of wordsmithing.
And I would hope it's welfare staff, not just teachers. You have staff
I
beyond
believe
teachers.
it's staff.
You know what? Maybe I need to go back and we need to go back and take a
Yeah,
look at
because
that.
if it says teachers, that's not enough.
That's not enough.
You're right.
There are a lot of
Yeah.
other staff members, our
Yeah.
ed techs, our bus drivers, our custodians, everyone.
So I will note that as something to check on
Yes,
when we meet.
that would be great. Thank you, Julianne. And I would encourage everyone that is able to attend the fall conference because there's just a lot of great information.
Pat's got her notice here from.
And she has her notice with the bright yellow
Yeah.
line.
I just
Okay.
emailed her before we came here.
Becky is attending.
Mhm.
Tony?
I'm just gonna do the Wednesday, I think,
Oh,
that-
the
the
chair, vice
Yeah.
chair?
afternoon one, yeah.
Okay.
Can't make the full day.
Megan?
What are the dates again?
24th, 25th.
25th. Thursday, Friday.
I plan to, yes, I feel like I have something on the 24th.
Parent teacher conferences.
Oh, that's half day.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So that's why I'm sort of like,
Yeah, shoot. That's a half day, then I don't know for sure, but the Friday.
Yep, you
could
can
do
go, you could do a half day on Thursday and all
Right,
day
and
Friday
then-
if you wanted to. We could
Yeah.
still sign you up for both.
Sure. Yep, because I didn't get to go last year because
Right.
cuckoo.
Right,
It was a
right,
little.
it was crazy, right.
We're hoping for that.
All right, do you have any food allergies?
Nope.
Okay, Sean,
Yeah, she just, yeah.
okay, both days?
Yes.
Great. Food allergies?
No,
Okay, great. Matt?
no, I can't.
Okay, Joanne?
Yes.
Food allergies?
No.
Diane?
I guess not.
But you said you loved it.
Right, well, I do. Last year I
No, I
met
have a work
Lynn a
commitment.
lot.
No, it's fine.
Lisa?
Yes, like Megan, I'll have to go and come back, but I think I
Okay.
can make it work.
Food allergies?
No, thank you.
Oh, good.
Thursday.
Thursday. Great. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Sweet.
Great.
America will be very happy
Yes.
with me. Alrighty, no old business, board chair. So we just went over the fall conference. Check, that's done. Let's see. School board workshop on the 17th at 5 p.m. here in this building. And the topic of that is we're going to hear from our administrators about what it's like to be an administrator in public school right now.
Well, I think we're gonna kind of talk about kind of like a day in the life. What does it look like right now to be
Yeah.
an ed tech? What does it look like to be a teacher? What does it look like to be an administrator? Just to kind of share some of the good things going on, but also making sure that the board understands some of the current challenges that is being faced by our administration and our staff on a daily basis. So we're
Where's
hoping
that?
you'll keep it here.
Yeah.
Hoping it would be about an hour. Hour and a half max, so we thought we would do it at 5.
Let's
kinda
start
do
with
it
an hour
early.
and a half
Yeah.
because an hour, look at all of them.
Hour is short.
We're gonna be organized and structured, keeping in mind, they're spending a lot of time
Yes.
beyond the workday. And so if we can at all keep it to an hour, so that they can go home and not be
Yes.
here too late, I would
Agreed.
ask that we do so.
Agreed, yep. And last on my report is that we have Diane is not going to return, and we have 4 candidates for school board right now. And I have sent you all an email with their profiles. We have Colin McGuff, who has served with us.
Cameoed a few times.
Cameoed. And he's very excited at the idea of coming back. He has 2 kids in the district, and he's the communications person for Chewonki, so he's really well qualified, and I'm happy that he's decided to try again. We have Mark Cohn, who was raised here. His dad was a teacher at Gardner High School and has raised his family here. And he has time. He will have grandchildren coming up into the system, so he's another person. And Nate Mitchell, who also, he grew up in West Gardner, and he's about 30, I guess, and is interested in it. And we had a great conversation that, you know, if it doesn't work this time, don't give up, because this kind of life and service is wonderful. And lastly is an unknown to me, Michelle Tucker, and she, I have her profile as well.
She's sitting right here.
And she's sitting right here. So what I can say is the ones that I know have really given their time and their lives to public education and have really been wonderful assets. And we have a slate of great candidates. So I just hope everyone pays attention and goes out to vote. That's all I've got.
Okay.
Madam Chair, may I ask you to bring up the play in November?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Yep, you're so.
And then we have a play.
Yes.
And as is our sort of quasi tradition, we do field trips. Because we don't get to go on field trips nearly enough.
Right.
So the hope is that we can do a field trip for the November meeting. That would mean that we would meet early, either here or would we meet here? Because streaming there is so difficult.
Yeah, we need to meet.
So we will meet
Yeah.
here in this room for this meeting at 5 o'clock rather than 6:30 and not have, will we have policy?
No, if you meet at 5, you will not have policy.
So we will not have a policy meeting. We will just meet and then shoot on over and get our tickets and sit and our seats and,
So the meeting will have to end at 6:30.
yes, ma'am.
in order to give us time to transition.
Yeah.
Because the play begins at 7.
Yes.
So we will have to be mindful of the limited amount of time when the agenda is built,
Okay, we gotta remember that.
right? Because you
Right,
really
yeah.
need to be
When we
able
do
to
that,
fit
yep.
it in
Yep.
within that hour and a
And
half.
I'll email the board and ask who wants to go and I can reserve seats for everyone.
Perfect.
Whoever would like to.
And will you be
Yeah.
here?
I'll be here and then I'll just have
Okay,
folks
so you
over there
can
working.
also
I
help
can-
us remain timely.
Yes,
You're good at
can
that?
do that.
I'd appreciate
So,
that.
so the date,
November 7th. Thursday, November 7th.
okay. And the 3 nights that it will be running is the 7th, the 8th, and the 9th?
Right, yep, all at 7 PM. Yep.
Okay.
Awesome flying.
The Good Doctor, Neil Simon, it's like a series of little, I want to say comedies, but it's like, yeah.
Vignettes. kind
Yeah,
of.
vignettes, yep.
Vignettes. Yeah,
So, yeah,
he always does such a good job. It's so fun.
yeah.
So yes, please get your
So
orders
we'll meet at
in.
5. Okay. All right, then I just have a couple things. One, I want to make sure that you have taken a look at some student enrollment data that we have provided. So every month, we do provide the current enrollment across the district. And you will see that across the district, our enrollment is down by 20 students from the start of the school year, which often happens. You have the students that arrive, others who have transitioned to another district. And so we're down to 1829. You'll see that the largest decrease is at the middle school and the high school this year. So while it's down, we'll talk during our workshop on how the needs, however, have shifted and changed. So we may have fewer students, but we certainly have more needs. In addition to that, every year I try to provide you with a breakdown, which you should have in your packet. Martha should have provided it. If not, I'll make sure that we get it to you. That shows open enrollment.
I don't think so.
She didn't give it to you?
No, I don't see it.
Wait,
No.
what are you looking for?
An open
Looks
enrollment
like
sheet?
this document that you should have.
No.
Okay, I'll make sure that you get it for next month, so that you have it. But I will just briefly summarize. That open enrollment, those are requests that come in from families that ask that their child, while they may live in, say, Pittston, they may want their child to attend a school in Gardner. So it's within the district that they're asking their child to be able to attend a school in a community in which they don't actually reside. So this year, we had 18 requests, 13 were approved. That's the same as last year. There were 5 denied this year. We have 32 incoming superintendent's agreements. Last year we had 47, so we have fewer. 6 were denied. There's 1 pending, but we always have 1 pending, okay? These come throughout the course of the entire school year. This year we have 40 approved outgoing. Last year I had 34. This year we've denied 5. Again, that is very fluid. In terms of homeschool, last year we had 192, this year we have 171, so that is down. However, there are still like 26 students that we just haven't received any paperwork for, so Martha is working on that. We have 18 students in a private school. Last year we had 22. We do have, right now, we have 5 students who are either homeschooled or in private school, participating in our after-school activities. We have 33 students here on tuition. Last year we had 28. So that's an increase. And we actually have 4 elementary students on tuition. Last year we had 0. So
Interesting.
yeah, so the total number of students that my office has processed is $395. So it's actually a lot of work behind the scenes, but I wanted you to be
It's
aware of
not
that. And
not just a phone call.
it's not, it takes a lot of work. So I'll make sure you get a copy of this for next month, so I apologize for that. All right, then I have one other thing before we go into executive session. I want to share something with the board that I found to be really disturbing at the end of last month's board meeting. So I woke up on Friday morning to an email from one of our student reps, and telling me that after the meeting, that a member of the community who was attending this meeting was waiting outside for the students. And when the students went outside, Kira was congratulated on her composure. She was spoken to about her boyfriend and how this person was going to contact Kira later about something that she thought that they would be of interest to Kira. And then to Sage, this person told Sage that if you want to be taken seriously in the future, you need to learn to control yourself. It's not a personal matter unless it directly affects you. It's not professional. And next meeting, you need to pull yourself together. Hopefully in the future, you can learn to be more respectful. So this encounter made our students feel incredibly uncomfortable. It was, I don't know, what time did our meeting end? 8:30? It was dark. There was no one else around. It was a conversation that could have happened in the hallway where there were other adults, but there were no other adults. They were outside by themselves in the dark, all alone. They're minors. They're not adults, and we have a responsibility to keep our students safe. While members of the public have the right to ask questions of students, they are on the board. They absolutely have that right. It's finding an appropriate time to do that and cornering them kind of and purposely waiting for them outside until everyone else was gone. I find just unacceptable. Personally, I'm proud of Sage being able to show your emotions and sharing something personal is taking a huge risk. That is not something easy to do. And I think it took a lot of courage, and I really respect you for taking that risk. But I'm sharing all of this as well because I feel like we have a responsibility to our students. And that responsibility makes sure that they can get from this building to their cars safely. And so I would ask that from this point forward, there is always an adult, either from the school board or an administrator, who takes responsibility. And if it means that we have to recess our meeting so that we can pause and one of us can walk them from the building to their car, then I feel like we have a responsibility to do that. So I wanted you to all be aware, they're part of our team, right? They're part of our group, and we have this responsibility to take care of them. And that was scary. To have someone that you don't know come up to you with no one else around, kind of in the dark, and start lecturing you about how you responded to a discussion.
In your
Very
safe space.
intimidating. So
May I add to that? I
Sure.
just was doing some research on this point because I know Sage personally and from the board, and so I asked her about this, and my head immediately went to just looking like what Joanne said earlier about what our charge is, who we report to, who we represent. So if you go look at the school board law, it talks about things about policies, procedure, duties for expulsion hearings and insurance and the safe, environment of our students. Then it led me to thinking of our code of conduct, which is in all of our handbooks, which has usually the things about being safe, respected, heard, and being able to learn in that environment. And then I also emailed Angela asking about our mission and vision that we just came up with our strategic plan. And so all these things came together, and I agree with what Pat's saying, that we are the folks that are trying to support these folks and show them what the policies are. So if we can't do that in our own environment, then yeah, I agree, that's not good. I'm glad you called it out. And I've told Sage the same, and Kiara for you as well, that I would gladly be the person to walk you out or be the adult advocate with you, because I think that's just uncalled for. Yeah.
Is
there anything that we can do? Do we know who this person is that did the accosting?
Yes.
Is there anything that we can do in terms of saying that she cannot, or he, I don't know who this person is, cannot be near, sort of like an order of protection? You stay 100 feet away, you know, you don't approach people.
No, there isn't enough, there wasn't a threat. So no, legally, there's no action like that can be taken.
We do have video of the incident.
Yes.
It's on camera.
Oh, Diane had something, but is it a situation that we should invite our SRO or local law enforcement?
Our
Have a discussion.
SRO is aware of the situation. Our SRO and I met with Sage first thing in the morning when she walked in on Friday to discuss it. So he is well aware.
I don't wanna put any pressure on either of you, but please don't hesitate. If you have to leave early, if you have to anything, just make it clear that you need someone, and I'm more than willing. I think anyone would be more than willing to just pause.
And just because, especially because I won't be here, I saw how upset you were and I was so proud of your standing up for a friend. So you can be proud of yourself.
Very good.
Okay, that's all.
Can I ask one sidebar question?
Sure.
Are either of you being harassed online?
That's a good
I'll
question,
be a
Matt.
professional, I'll say it's bullshit. And if they need to be escorted out, that's fine. Yeah, I know, that's fine, but attack an adult, not a kid.
Or have a healthy debate, in the same regard, yeah.
Remember, we're here for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kids are our audience.
say whatever you want about
That's right.
the adults sitting around the table.
Leave the kids alone.
All right.
Right.
Right. I feel like that was too quick, but.
I know.
Okay.
You guys
Let me go.
You guys back there, you wanna stay, right?
We're gonna go into executive session, so will
Yes.
one of you take responsibility?
We will all make sure that they get out.
That they're all ready.
So we need a motion to go into, you guys are good.
Motion to go into executive session.
Oh, you got it? All right, second. All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And
Thanks, Sage.
you need to.
Will you be coming back into session, Kat?
No.
Happy to shake your hand. Hi, I am running, and just so you all are clear, I was the one who was outside. I'm sure you have that on video, but I did not wait for those students, and they started the conversation.
It's really not appropriate for you to
Yeah.
Yes.
talk with us about this. Thank you.
It's also not